Welcome back to our channel, where today we delve into the complex and captivating life of one of the most beloved characters from George R.R. Martin's A Song of Ice and Fire, and HBO's Game of Thrones, Tyrion Lannister. Tyrion Lannister is considered one of the most evil and cunning character. He possesses his father's clever and strategic mentality, yet as Tyrion Lannister puts it,
all dwarves are bastards in their father's eyes.
He was born in 273 AC as the youngest son of Tywin Lannister and Joanna Lannister. His birth is marked by tragedy, as his mother dies during childbirth, leading to a strained relationship with his father, and Tywin Lannister blamed Tyrion for her mother's death throughout his life. At Alltown, it was said that Tyrion was a monster, with a tail, monstrous huge head, thick black hair, a beard, an evil eye, lion's claws, with teeth so long he was not able to close his mouth, and both male and female genitals. It was said that Tyrion's birth was an omen to famine, plague and war, and the small folk named him Lord Tywin's Doom, and Lord Tywin's Bane, and King Aerys II Targaryen stated that Tyrion was a punishment for Tywin's arrogance. Not long after Tyrion was born, the Princess of Dorne visited with her husband and her two younger children, Elia and Aberon Martell. During the Martell visit, Tyrion was kept hidden from view, though his cries could occasionally be heard. The day before the Martells departed, Cersei and Jaime presented Tyrion to Elia and Aberon, with Cersei asserting that the infant would not survive for long. Lord Tywin, having declined to arrange a betrothal between Princess Elia and his heir Jaime, instead proposed that Tyrion be betrothed to Elia, which the Martells perceived as an insult. In Season 3 of Game of Thrones, Tywin opened up to Tyrion and admitted that he once considered giving him to the waves of the ocean when he was born.
Day that you were born, I wanted to carry you into the sea and let the waves wash you away. Instead, I let you live, and I brought you up as my son. Because you're a Lannister.
As you saw, he shared that he ultimately chose not to follow through with that thought because Tyrion was a Lannister, but perhaps a part of him couldn't bear the thought due to his own sense of pride and the dignity that came with their family name, or maybe it was also influenced by the love he held for his wife Joanna. Throughout much of Tyrion's upbringing, his father Tywin was busy serving as the hand of the king for King Aerys II Targaryen over in King's Landing, which meant that he often had to be away from home for long periods of time. As a child, Tyrion was lonely as his brother left Casterly Talk to serve as squire at Crake Hall in 277 AC, while his sister Cersei left for Court of King's Landing. When he was just 6 or 7 years old, his beloved uncle Garion introduced him to the delightful art of tumbling, and he filled his days with joy at Casterly Rock for 6 wonderful months. That was until Tywin came back from King's Landing and, out of concern, decided it was time to put a stop to it, saying that, "Lion, do not tumble." As a child, Tyrion dreamed of owning a dragon. He also asked his uncle for one as him named a gift, saying, "Little like I am," whereupon was informed that last dragon died 2 centuries ago. Tyrion stared at dragon flames for hours, pretending to be a lost Targaryen princeling or a Valyria dragonlord, and sometimes imagined his family burning in fires. In 281 AC, Tyrion's father Tywin Lannister discussed a betrothal between Tyrion's brother Jaime and Lysa, but Jaime was unavailable. Tywin offered Tyrion as a replacement, but Lord Hoster required a whole man. Tywin tried to offer Tyrion to Lords Yohn Royce and Leyden Hightower, but they declined. Knowing that he never would become a knight, Tyrion wanted to become a High Septon instead, as the crystal crown added a foot to one's height. As such, he studied the holy books. At the age of 13, around 286 AC, Tyrion falls in love with common-born girl Tysha that replaces his thought of priesthood. He and his brother Jaime rescued a common girl, Tysha, from bandits near Casterly Rock. While Jaime went after the bandits, Tyrion took care of Tysha. To his amazement, Tysha liked him, and they eventually made love. This made Tyrion bribe a drunken Septon and married her in secret. They lived in a little cottage by the Sunset Sea, and they would kiss and make love. Tysha would sing the Myrish song, "The Seasons of My Love," for him. The Septon couple's marriage lasted only 2 weeks, but they confessed to Lord Tywin. Tyrion's father accused and commanded Jaime of hiring a prostitute to take Tyrion's virginity. Tywin's guards raped Tysha for silver coins, and Tyrion raped her for gold coins, claiming the Lannister was worth more. Tywin undone the marriage, and the Septon claimed it was never. Tyrion, a young boy, committed to memorizing all 16 wonders described by Lomas Longstrider and occasionally reciting them during feasts. For years he dreamed of traveling the world and see wonders himself. In 289 AC Tyrion turned 16 and for his father leaves he denied him, saying he was irresponsible because of his marriage to Tysha. By this far we can clearly Tywin had become the biggest villain of Tyrion life. It is unknown when Tyrion travels to King's Landing, but he accompanied the King Robert Baratheon and his siblings to Winterfell. Tyrion offers Bran Stark's parents sympathies after his fall from the First Keep, and make his nephew Joffrey obeys after Tyrion hits him 3 times.
None, but it is expected of you. Your absence has already been noted.
The boy means nothing to me. Oh, I can't stand the wailing of women.
One word, and I hit you again.
I'm telling Mother.
Go. Tell her. But first you will get to Lord and Lady Stark, and you will fall on your knees in front of them and tell them how very sorry you are, that you are at their service and that all your prayers are with them. Do you understand?
You can't.
Do you understand?
After their arrival at Wall, Tyrion firsthand sees the poor and dwindling of numbers of the Rangers' parties goes missing and wildlings fleeing the south like never before. He implored by the Lord Commander Jeor Mormont to aware his father and her sister the Queen about the condition of the Watch and Watch's needs. Lord Commander and Maester Aemon tries to tell Tyrion about threat of White Walkers beyond, to which Tyrion replies,
"And dark things will come with it."
We've been capturing wildlings. More every month. They're fleeing south. The ones who flee say they've seen the White Walkers.
Yes, and the fishermen of Lannisport say they see mermaids.
Maester Aemon recognizes the intelligence of Tyrion and describes him as a giant come among us, rendering Tyrion, a dwarf, uncharacteristically speechless. During his time at Wall, Tyrion sees himself as an outcast on similar ground as the bastard-born Snow and helps Jon cope with his identity and lot in life. He also take a pisses from Edge of the Wall, later boasting it to Cersei. During his return from Wall he visit Winterfell despite receiving hostile welcome from Robb Stark and attack from Stark dire wolves. At his arrival he gives Master Luwin plans for special saddle that will allow Bran to ride the horse. Tyrion thereafter declines the offer for room and chooses to stay at Wintertown. On his way back to King's Landing, Tyrion is imprisoned at Crossroad by Catelyn with help of her father's bannermen present at the inn. On accusation of assassination attempt on Bran Stark because Catelyn was told by the Master of Coin, Lord Petyr Baelish, that the Valyrian steel dagger used in Bran's failed assassination attempt belonged to Tyrion.
Lady Stark, what an unexpected pleasure. I was sorry to miss you at Winterfell.
Lady Stark. I was still Catelyn Tully the last time I stayed here. You, sir. Is that the black bat of Harrenhal I see embroidered on your coat?
It is, my lady.
And is Lady Went a true and honest friend to my father, Lord Hoster Tully of Riverrun?
She is.
The Red Stallion was always a welcome sight at Riverrun. My father counts Jonas Bracken amongst his oldest and most loyal bannermen.
Our lord is honored by his trust.
I envy your father all his fine friends, Lady Stark, but I don't quite see the purpose of this.
I know your sigil as well. The Twin Towers of Frey. How fares your lord, sir?
Lord Walder is well, my lady. He has asked your father for the honor of his presence on his 90th name day. He plans to take another wife.
Ah.
This man came into my house as a guest, and there conspired to murder my son, a boy of 10. In the name of King Robert and the good lords you serve, I call upon you to seize him and help me return him to Winterfell to await the king's justice.
On their way, they are attacked by the clansmen of the Vale, and Tyrion finds himself fighting in his first battle, and Tyrion makes his first blood.
I'll be fine, my lady. There's no need to bloody yourself.
You first? You need a woman? Nothing like a woman after a fight.
Well, I'm willing if she is.
Once they reach the area, Lysa Arryn accuses Tyrion of killing her husband, Lord Jon Arryn. Tyrion is tried for both on Jon Arryn murder and Bran's attempted murder, though he is innocent of both. To break him up, Lysa confined him in a small, treacherous sky cell, from which Tyrion could have fallen. Tyrion thinks it possible that his siblings were responsible for the crimes he is accused of, but that Bran's assassination attempt seems too clumsily done to be Jaime's or Cersei's work. However, by using his cleverness, he managed to manipulate the guard and bribe to telling Lysa that he's ready to confess his crimes. To get out of the prison to present him before Lysa Arryn, the Lady of the Vale. Once there, he again employed his wits to demand a trial, which was decidedly unfair. When Lysa stated that her 8-year-old son, Robert Arryn, would preside over the justice, Tyrion requested a trial by combat and chose his brother, Jaime Lannister, as his champion. Since Lysa insisted that the trial take place that very day, Tyrion appealed for an audience, and then the sellsword Bronn stepped forward. In a remarkable turn of events, Tyrion emerged victorious in the trial. Tyrion and Bronn leave Arryn on dangerous high road, a long road surrounded by men of Mountain Clan led by Shagga. Tyrion quickly uses his wits and word to win over the clansmen by promising weapons, armor and glory, and more clansmen join Tyrion on his way to Riverlands, and reaching Riverlands and meeting his father, he is informed about ongoing war and is made to fight in front lines with clansmen in battle on the Green Fork against Stark forces of 2,000, and Tyrion gets injured. After the battle, Tywin sent Tyrion to King's Landing to take position as Hand of the King in his place, as Tywin does not trust Jack Nape's on small council, and when Tyrion asks why him, then
You will serve as Hand of the King in my stead. You'll bring that boy king to heel, and his mother too, if needs be. And if you get so much as a whiff of treason from any of the rest, Baelish, Varys, Pycelle...
Head spikes walls. Why not my uncle? Why not anyone? Why me?
You're my son.
In 298 AC, Tyrion, along with mountain clansmen, Shae and Bronn, arrives at King's Landing. Tyrion hand over Tywin letter which names him Hand of the King to small council, in Cersei's dismay, and she threatens him to throw in dungeons, and Tyrion promises to free Jaime, and Cersei concedes through they both have no intentions of agreeing to one thing, and power struggles start between two. Tyrion resides in Tower of the Hand, and his first act is to remove the heads of executed Stark households from spears. Tyrion forges an alliance with Varys, who helps to replace Janos Slynt, commander of the City Watch, and send him to Wall. He tells Petyr Baelish, Varys, and Pycelle each different plans that he has for Myrcella and Tommen. When Cersei confronts him about the plan that he divulged to Pycelle, Tyrion knows that Pycelle is the informant and throws Grandmaster Pycelle in black cells, thus winning the power battle against her sister. To further gain the support of Drogon and Tyrion, true plan for Myrcella is to wed him to Tristan Martell, and also offers small council seat to Doran Martell. Tyrion tries to protect Sansa Stark from Joffrey's cruelties. With his position at court secure and consistently outsmarting Cersei, Tyrion initiates preparations for the city's siege by ordering the construction of fishing boats. He commands Hallyne of Alchemists' Guild synthesize a large quantity of wildfire. Eventually he sends his clansmen to Kingwood to snuff out outriders and scouts loyal to Stannis Baratheon. Tyrion sets Shae in manse near the Iron Gate to keep her identity secret. However, Varys knows about Shae and her location. Esser Cleos Frey, cousin of Tyrion, seeks peace terms from Robb Stark, requesting the release of Sansa and Arya Stark. Jaime Lannister is to be retained, and Joffrey must renounce claims to the North and Riverlands. Tyrion deems the terms unacceptable and sends Cleos back with counter-offer of exchange of Sansa and Arya along with every Stark captives with Jaime Lannister. Make a escape plan for Jaime to be orchestrated by men in Cleo's party, but plan is eventually fails. Esser Alliser Thorne visits Tyrion with a rotting white hand from the wall. Tyrion mocks him but offers recruits from city dungeons. Renly Baratheon is killed at Storm's End, leading Tyrion to approach the Tyrells for alliance by proposing Joffrey's marriage to Margaery Tyrell. In 299 AC, Stannis Baratheon attacks the King's Landing as he has eliminated his brother Renly and aims for King's Landing with well-prepared assault and plan. He commanded 20,000 troops with 200 ships, and he defenders of King's Landing led by Tyrion Lannister numbered around 7,000 to 8,000 men, bolstered by mercenaries and reinforcements that would later increase to numbers about 90,000 during the battle. Stannis' fleet battles against the Lannister navy. Tyrion prepares by setting up a defensive strategy with a massive chain and wildfire. Tyrion and King Joffrey Baratheon sees the fleet goes up in flames. He surprises Stannis by igniting ships filled with wildfire, causing a devastating explosion that greatly damages Stannis' fleet. Despite losses at sea, Stannis landed troops near city walls, facing fierce resistance from Lannister defenders. He arrives at the Mud Gate where Sandor Clegane, who had already led 3 sorties in which he has lost half his men, refuses to go out again. The wildfire raging across the river has robbed Clegane of his courage, and his refusal to lead any more sorties threatens to break the morale of the defenders, but morale breaks eventually as Queen Regent commands the King Joffrey to return to Red Keep. This dismoralizes the defenders. As they need to hold the river at all costs, Tyrion decides to lead the next sortie himself. Shamed into action by the dwarf's display of courage, several defenders gather to Tyrion's side. Tyrion's counterattack boosted morale. The defenses in charge of him and fight in front lines during the heat of battle. Kingsguard Esser Mandon Moore, on order of Queen Regent Cersei, attacks Tyrion Lannister and severely wounds him, but Tyrion is saved by his squire Podrick Payne. With the bridge breaking up and their hand lost in battle, the defenders retreat within the city wall. At this time the battle seemed lost. Upon hearing about Stannis' impending attack on King's Landing and the collaboration between the Iron Throne and House Tyrell, Lord Tywin Lannister leads his army south. He meets up with Lords Rowan and Tarly near the headwaters of the Blackwater Rush and then marches to Tumbler's Falls, where they are joined by Lord Tyrell and his sons along with a large army and fleet. The Lannisters and Tyrells combine forces, sailing down the river to reach a location half a day's ride from the capital. At dusk, they reach the battle scene and attack Stannis' army from behind. Lord Tywin leads the right wing, Randall Tarly commands the center, and Mace Tyrell leads the left. Esser Garland Tyrell's vanguard, dressed in Renly Baratheon's armor, confuses Stannis' army, causing his supporters to abandon him. Renly's shade kills Esser Gyrd Morgan, who leads Stannis' van, and Stannis' forces started retreating and Lannister win the battle. Tyrion wakes up in bed sometime after the battle, suffering from serious facial wounds and the loss of most of his nose. The wounds are treated by Maester Bolívar, but Tyrion asks for him to be replaced with Maester Franken, whom Tyrion is more familiar with. Tyrion suspects that Cersei was behind Mandon's assassination attempt, as after the arrival of Tywin Lannister in King's Landings he retakes his position as Hand of the King, and Tyrion is shifted to New Chamber as relived as Hand of the King. This is the journey of Tyrion Lannister this far in Game of Thrones. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the life of Tyrion Lannister. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into your favorite characters from Game of Thrones and beyond.